Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's Change of Responsibility ceremony. This morning, Command Sergeant Major Kevin D. Sharkey relinquishes responsibility for the Installation Management Command, Atlantic Region, to Command Sergeant Major Richard Sullivan III. Command Sergeant Major Sullivan becomes the third Region Command Sergeant Major since activation of the Installation Management Command, Atlantic Region. The host for today's ceremony is Mr. Davis D. Tindoll, Jr., Installation Management Command, Atlantic Region Director. Ladies and gentlemen, our honored guests attending today's ceremony include Mrs. Tindoll, Mrs. Sullivan and Sons Caleb and Nathan, Command Sergeant Major Hartless, Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army Installation Management Command, Major General Patterson, Deputy Commanding General, Chief of Staff, U.S. Army Installation Management Command, Brigadier General Mitchell, Deputy Commanding General Support, U.S. Army Installation Management Command. Ms. Haney, Director, G9. In addition to our esteemed guests, we are very pleased to have a number of Command Sergeants Major, Sergeants Major active and retired, senior non-commissioned officers, friends, and associates of Command Sergeant Major Sharkey and Sullivan. We would also like to extend a special welcome to the members of the Atlantic Region workforce who have joined us for this event. Thank you all for attending. The official party for today's ceremony is Mr. Davis D. Tindoll, Jr., Command Sergeant Major Kevin D. Sharkey, and Command Sergeant Major Richard Sullivan III. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets like were bursting in air, yet through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Satan's star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, Mrs. Sullivan is receiving a bouquet of yellow roses. Yellow is the color of the new beginning and symbolizes her arrival to the MCOM Atlantic region. In time, her rosebuds will blossom, as will her relationship with the soldiers, civilians, and their families. From ancient times, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victories over enemies, honor comrades in arms, and celebrate special occasions as we are doing today. These ceremonies have added color and pageantry to military life while preserving tradition and stimulating esprit de corps. The Continental Army established the foundation by which our present-day ceremonies are performed. And today's ceremony is an enactment of an Army tradition that is 237 years old. It reaffirms the concept that the Army is perpetuated on time-honored values and traditions, and not on the accomplishments of individuals. Today, you will witness a small part of that tradition as the organizational colors of Atlantic Region and responsibility of the Installation Management Command Atlantic Region is passed to its new senior enlisted leader. The Non-Commissioned Officer Corps has always been the key link between the officers who provide intent and the soldiers and civilians who execute. In recognition of their essential role in the success of the Atlantic region, Sergeant Major Marquez, G3, Sergeant Major, Headquarters MCOM, will assist in the change of responsibility ceremony. The passing of the colors signifies the relinquishment of responsibility and authority from the outgoing to the incoming Region Command Sergeant Major. The organizational colors represent not only the unit, but also the unity and loyalty of all within the organization. Colors are the directors and Command Sergeant Major's symbol of authority, representing their responsibility to the organization. Order of Relief of Responsibility for Command Sergeant Major Kevin D. Sharkey, having served faithfully with distinction, you are hereby relieved of your responsibility as the MCOM Atlantic Region Command Sergeant Major, effective 8 June 2015. You have executed the duties of your office with dignity, dedication, and devotion to the Atlantic Region Command. Your leadership to the non-commissioned officers, soldiers, Department of the Army civilians, and sound advice to the Region Director has been of the highest quality. Having fulfilled your duties as the Region Command Sergeant Major with distinction and honor, it is with great respect and the utmost gratitude that we now pass those standards and responsibilities on to your successor. Change of responsibility order for Command Sergeant Major Richard Sullivan III. Let it be known that effective 8 June 2015, that you assume responsibility as the Region Command Sergeant Major, Installation Management Command, Atlantic Region. The Atlantic Region Director places special trust and confidence in your patriotism, dedication, integrity, and leadership abilities. Therefore, he hereby appoints you to the office of the Region Command Sergeant Major. In so appointing you, he charges you with utmost leadership and mentorship to non-commissioned officers, imposing sound advice to the command's officers and the Department of the Army civilians, and show care and compassion for soldiers and families through the region area of responsibility. As the senior non-commissioned officer in the Atlantic region, you must bear the mantle of perpetuating the customs, traditions, and rich history of Installation Management Command. Having been chosen over your peers, you are finally charged with executing the duties of your office with dignity, impartiality, morality, integrity, and creativity, thus presenting a sterling example for all to embrace. Sergeant Major Marquez is passing the colors to Command Sergeant Major Sharkey, the outgoing Region Command Sergeant Major, in final deference of his authority and leadership. Command Sergeant Major Sharkey is passing the colors to Mr. Tindoll, signifying the relinquishment of his duties and gratitude for the opportunity to care for soldiers, families, and Department of the Army civilians of the MCOM Atlantic region. Mr. Tindoll is now passing the colors to Command Sergeant Major Sullivan, charging him with responsibility for the region as its new Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major Sullivan is now passing the colors to Sergeant Major Marquez, symbolizing his dedication and commitment to the soldiers, families, and Department of the Army civilians of the Atlantic region, thus completing the assumption of responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Davis D. Tindoll Jr., Director, Installation Management Command, Atlantic Region.
As a former MCOM commander would say, and so it is. And so it is, Kevin Sharkey, that you put your heart and soul into something more important than yourself. And in the blink of an eye, in a very simple ceremony, you hand it over to the next Command Sergeant Major. Distinguished visitors, general officers, Department of Army civilians, Command Sergeant Majors, members of the Sharkey and Sullivan families, good morning. And I want to thank you all for joining us today in this time-honored tradition known as a change of responsibility ceremony. It has been said that the most valuable gift you can give is your time. And today, you have all given your time to honor Command Sergeant Major Kevin Sharkey and welcome Command Sergeant Major Richard Sullivan, and I thank you all. I'm privileged to be here as the Director of the Atlantic Region United States Army Installation Management Command, and I'm honored to play a role in this ceremony recognizing the leadership of both of these great Americans. Today we say farewell to Command Sergeant Major Kevin Sharkey and his bride, Scarlett, and welcome Command Sergeant Major Richard Sullivan, his wife, Rochelle, and children Caleb and Nathan to the MCOM Atlantic team. You all may have noticed that during the ceremony, both Kevin and Sully were, well, they're not now, were smiling. But I assure you that they're smiling for very different reasons. For Kevin, it's a feeling of accomplishment and relief from the pressures of the responsibility and oversight that have been removed. Still, when I told Kevin as he released the colors to me that he was relieved of the responsibility as the keeper of the colors, he hesitated. He held the colors just a little tighter. Command Sergeant Major Kevin Sharkey's leadership has provided the direction and guidance needed during a period of significant change and turbulence within this region. He assumed the role as Region Command Sergeant Major while we were stationed at Fort Eustis, and he made a significant impact to the lives of our 200+ personnel that did not move with us as we downsized to 39 here in San Antonio. During Kevin's 3-year tenure, he did a great deal more than provide oversight to the 30 assigned garrison command sergeant majors. But let me begin with that aspect of his role as a region command sergeant major. Every one of those garrison command sergeant majors, who many are listening today as we're broadcasting this, would tell you how much they respect and admire the leader and the man. So would garrison commanders and their deputies, and many of the garrison directors, the DPWs, DPTs, DESs, have all stood in awe of his professional expertise within the realm of base operations. And yes, it's well known within the region staff and among the garrisons, do not get into a discussion or argument with Sharkey if you don't have a firm grasp of what you're talking about, or he will embarrass the hell out of you. Many believe the role of a command sergeant major is to express concerns on a listed spree. Well, those don't quite fit our command sergeant majors with an MCOM. I would like to use a quote from Lieutenant General Wetzel describing his intent for his command sergeant major. I expect the command sergeant, quote, I expect the command sergeant major to show the way. I expect the sergeant major to be at or near the point of decision at critical times and provide me as the commander with an unbiased assessment, unquote. Well, Kevin Sharkey has exceeded that criteria. He was, rather is, the subject matter expert on a multitude of tasks: sponsorship, R2C, Sharp, Soldier for Life, BOSS, even child development centers. Hard to believe, isn't it? You know, when he gets close up, and those of you that know him know well, when he gets within 2 inches of your face and tells you the facts, you need to drop this shovel. You have dug the hole you're in deep enough. He's been my battle buddy, and that is not just a cliche, but truth. Our pace has been hectic, and at times I have faltered. But each and every time, he's been there to pick up my ruck as we continue to accomplish the task. I'm indebted to his professional and personal character. I could not have asked for more. He's always been there at the critical point and has always provided his unbiased assessment. Kevin was clearly the right leader to help me lead this region with 30 garrisons. He's an inspired and passionate leader. He is an enthusiastic advocate for our garrisons and champion for improving our ability to enhance our installations. Kevin, your leadership and accomplishment as the Atlantic Region Command Sergeant Major will stand the test of time. Thank you for your personal dedication to our mission and the coaching, teaching, and mentoring of not only Garrison Command Sergeant Majors, but every Garrison Director, Region Wrist, and Functional, and even our Garrison Commanders. We wish you the very best today and in the future. Would everyone please join me in a round of applause for this outstanding non-commissioned officer. Today we welcome Command Sergeant Major Richard Sullivan as the next Atlantic Region Command Sergeant Major. Like Kevin, Sully's a proven combat leader, and he's ideally suited to lead our region in supporting my priorities and requirements and the MCOM installation management process is set by Lieutenant General Howerson and Command Sergeant Major Hartless. He comes to us via Fort Benning, where he set the standard as a Garrison Command Sergeant Major. Sully, I welcome you, Rochelle, Caleb, and Nathan to our team. I know you will continue to set the example and lead with the same professionalism, pride, and expertise that you've demonstrated throughout your career, and that you will continue to meet our mission to deliver the best facilities, the best services, and the best customer service for our soldiers, family members, retirees, and civilians. Lastly, allow me an opportunity to recognize this superb region team and the Garrison Command Sergeant Majors listening in who make it happen every day. Thank you all. To those who have provided the pageantry today for this ceremony, the G3 Sergeant Major and the MSO team led by Tamar, thank you. For all in attendance today to honor both of these great Americans, thank you for your time and support. To our soldiers, civilians, and their families, may God bless our nation and its service members as we continue to fight and win our nation's wars. Support and defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Command Sergeant Major Kevin D. Sharkey, Outgoing Installation Management Command, Atlantic Region Command Sergeant Major.
So a personal note, I will try not to break Colonel Clark's record.
That's a good guy.
Distinguished guests, family, and friends of the Atlantic region, thank you for attending today's ceremony. You truly honor us with your presence. I would like to thank a few people, if I may. First, my wife. Thank you for your unwavering support and love. And thank you for putting up with me, which I know is a challenge in and of itself. Not only for the last 3 years, but for the last 21 years. They have truly been the best years of my life. Thank you, and I love you very much. I'd also like to thank the front office for your dedication and devotion to duty, but more importantly, thank you for everything you have done for me, from reminding me of birthdays to ensuring I'm at the right place, at the right time, in the right uniform. You are truly my heroes. Thank you. To the Atlantic Region staffs, RIST, functional integrators, and the MSO, thank you for working tirelessly behind the scenes in support of our great garrisons. You make a difference every day and have inspired me. Thank you. To our command teams across the region, thank you for carrying the heavy ruck. Thank you for providing direction, purpose, and motivation to the best civilian workforce in the Army. I'm truly in awe of your dedication and selfless service to our soldiers and their families. Every day, you and your teams make a difference and help improve somebody's life and make their life a little easier. Thank you to your entire team. To the MCOM staff, thank you for your support, not only to me, but the region and all our garrisons. You are the best 3-star headquarters in the Army. Mr. Tindoll, sir, thank you for allowing me to be your and the region's Sergeant Major. Thank you for your leadership, mentorship, and more importantly, your friendship. I will never forget our time together. It has been my great honor and privilege to be your Sergeant Major. Miss Dale, a special thanks to you and for helping me, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your family. You are a very special lady. I kind of got ahead of myself. To General Farrader and Halverson, Command Sergeant Major Rice, and Sergeant Major Hartless, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to serve the soldiers and families of the region, IMCOM, and across our Army. Jeff, thank you for your friendship. You don't know how much it means to me that you have been there for me all this time, so thank you. Command Sergeant Major Sullivan, congratulations. You are the right leader at the right time in the right place to help lead the Atlantic region. I wish you and your family all the best and continued success in the future. Again, thank you all for attending. Support and defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Command Sergeant Major Richard Sullivan III, the Installation Management Command, Atlantic Region Command Sergeant Major.
Distinguished guests, leaders, IMCOM family and friends, thank you for blessing us with your attendance today. Lieutenant General Halverson, Sergeant Major Hartless, Mr. Tindoll, thank you for this opportunity. Rochelle and I are humbled to continue to serve the soldiers and families of the most powerful army in the world. It has been 2 short years since I was indoctrinated into the IMCOM culture as a Garrison Command Sergeant Major at Fort Benning. And although 2 years is a long time, I'm only just scratching the surface of the intricate workings of this great organization. I'm eager to continue my education, and I hope I can bring a fraction of the productivity that Command Sergeant Major Sharkey has provided for the Atlantic region over the past 3 years. Command Sergeant Major Sharkey, thank you for your guidance over the past 2 years, as well as a smooth transition over the past few weeks. I appreciate everything that you have done for me, and I know that I have some big shoes to fill. Best of luck to you and your family in all your future endeavors. To my wife and boys, thank you for your continued support. I would not be able to do what I do without it. I love you. Again, thank you for your attendance this morning. Sustain, support, defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join in the singing of the Army song.
March along, sing along, we're the army of the free. Counts the brave, counts the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the day is loud and strong. Wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your attendance at today's Change of Responsibility ceremony. Command Sergeant Major Sharkey will receive friends and well-wishers in front of the reviewing area. Command Sergeant Major and Mrs. Sullivan will receive friends and well-wishers in the foyer of the theater. Support and defend.